Hey, you're listening to the Coffee O'Clock podcast, the show that brings you joy and inspiration, with special guests from all around the world who have an amazing story and expertise to evolve your personal and professional life. I am your host, Burcu Onaranel, the founder of Joy Marketing and Coaching. Make sure you grab your coffee and get ready to explore new ideas. Let's get started. Hello everyone. Today I have Lorraine Cote. I hope I said it right. And she is career transition coach, life coach, and funny enough, she's also a registered nurse. She loves both of them. And today we will talk about both her coaching journey and her method, the 3 E's of my dream job process. It is your dream job process. So welcome, Lorraine. How are you? Let's do cheers.
Cheers.
Welcome. How are you?
I'm good. I'm so delighted that you invited me on your podcast. Thank you so much.
I am happy that you're here. I very briefly introduced you, but can you share who you are with us, please? What do you do?
I'm a registered nurse who discovered personal development and been practicing all my life. I've been from birth to death, supporting people, caring, of course, is one of my fundamental, most important values. And I also love empowering individuals. And I guess that's what's brought me to coaching. That's one of the reasons I love coaching so much. The other aspect that I really discovered and that I love is how coaching has transformed my life. In 2020, I went through a really basically reorganizing my whole life. All the structures came to a halt, like many people in 2020. Yeah, and I had to revisit my relationships, my work, my home. It was quite the experience. And it's really thanks to coaching that I was able to save my marriage, rediscover myself, land the job of my dreams, and now expanding into this next chapter. So I know the power of coaching. I'm delighted to experience with it and to support people. And it's just an amazing journey.
It is. And while you're explaining it, I just remembered my own journey with coaching. It definitely is a life changing. And I'm sure people who are not familiar with coaching or who never tried it in themselves don't really understand what we mean, because you really need to experience it. You are out there who never experienced. I'm talking to you who are watching us or listening to us. If you never experience it, experience it. It is a really life-changing experience to have the coach beside you and just really experience that. So Lorraine, you are also a nurse and you're now transitioning into life coaching. And you have the 3 E's of a dream job process.
Mm-hmm.
Can you start explaining that? Because I'm curious. You said expectation, empowerment, and expansion. These are the 3 E's. Let's
Yeah,
talk
those are the 3, absolutely. Those are the 3 E's of my coaching process, and how that works is why I'm so excited about it. It's based in science. So I love neuroscience, I love epigenetics, I love all of that neuropsycho science that helps us today understand how our body really works and how we move through. So expectations really leans into our belief systems and our mindset. And today there's tons of data to demonstrate with a lot of examples when, whether we're aware of it or not, those expectations really impact your life. And one of the studies was they actually asked people at their retirement, and they followed them over a period of time. They asked the group what was their expectation, if they were expecting to have a very thriving retirement, or if they were expecting to be maybe sick, declining, right? And the people that believed that their life was going to be a beautiful life actually had a 7-year expectancy longer. So it's huge. And that applies to all kinds of other fields. So we use it in the coaching, the mindsets that you have, the beliefs that you have. We really get real about that because it's important to understand how that's impacting your life. The empowerment is also based in science. Today we have so many neuroscience and so many studies. Just the power pose, for instance, that's been documented that if you do that for 2 minutes, that will change your chemistry and will heighten your mood and put you in a different mindset. If, for instance, you are undergoing a lot of stress, a lot of emotions, tapping, havening, these are also scientifically demonstrated. So all of these approaches and techniques and practices that I bring forth are really to empower the individual to stand into their greatest potential, basically. And from there, then we start expanding. And the expanding, we touch into like Joe Dispenza's quantum field meditations approach, which also has made its proof. There's like just gazillions of studies, right? There's thousands of examples. So what I love about all of that is that we have so much science to back it up, right? It's not
Yeah.
just woo or us thinking or it's somebody's opinion. There's no woo about this. It's really proven in science, and that's really, really exciting.
Yes, it is. And thank you for touching that woo-woo part because that's what most people think about it still. Even yesterday, I was in International Coaching Federation's webinar, and they also mentioned it's been 30 years that we are accredited, and all of the coaches out there who are accredited and doing their studies, that it's still coaching seems like a woo-woo, or coaching seems like a not real thing in people's eyes. So it still has time to prove it,
Mm-hmm.
I think, and people need to open their mind and put their feet in the water and just taste it, how it works. And I also love neuroscience, and I love Joe Dispenza's work as well, and meditation, everything. So all of the things that I personally never believed years ago. And once I started experiencing it, and I'm like, okay, this really works. So what is it that for you, when you were in a time you didn't believe, maybe? Did you have that time, first of all? Did you have a moment in your life that you didn't believe in any of these, and all of a sudden you started to try and then you believed?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a great question. So I was born and raised in a really religious background, and it's interesting how that gave me a certain belief system. And I remember around the age of 37, I was going through a divorce. I basically raised 5 kids on my own. Um,
Wow.
so I had to revisit these values, and I remember putting them on the shelf and thinking, you know what, I think I'll come back to this a little bit later. And it's interesting how that opened from religion to spirituality for me. And even I would say like before 2020 and today, the spirituality has hugely expanded. Like there's just so much potential. And when we were talking about coaching and then people thinking it's woo-woo, maybe it's because it doesn't have a PhD back to it, but I think a distinction is really important, is that it's not because you're doing coaching that you won't do other things, right? You might still need psychotherapy. You might still need different modalities, osteopathy or whatever, right? One doesn't eliminate the other one, but the coaching part is where I'm at this ground and I'm ready to go up. In my nursing career right now, I deal with people that are sick, the system is broken. Like we're always trying to fix something that's broken. In the coaching, you have a vision, you're going forward. And so you have a good baseline, but now you want to go ahead. If the feel is different. Does that make sense?
Yes, of
Yeah.
course.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And I love my job in nursing because for me right now, it still has meaning. There's still contribution for me to be there. But I'm feeling that I, it's really tugging and pulling towards helping women that are dissatisfied in their career, that find it boring, that find it draining, that find it stressful, because the system has changed or because they have changed. There's so much change going on. And to say, you know what, it exists. Your dream career exists for you. It's there. It's totally there. And the purpose of all of this is really to align you to that perfect dream job that you want.
Yes. And now I am curious, how do you work with people? Because it's not easy to switch jobs or find a job at the beginning. You always have, I mean, most people do. They have the anxiety, they have the fear of not being enough or not finding what they want and not being happy in it, because it's not just about money. Maybe it's about money at the beginning, but when you get into the job, then you feel unhappy and not satisfied. You want the fulfillment, and that's where you're coming in, I believe. So how do you work with people?
So thank you for asking. That's such a great question. A lot of us, we've made our career choices based on outside influence. What was expected from us, what our society thought was good, what our parents might have wanted us to do, so on and so forth, or maybe not even believing in our own potential. So the whole journey starts really from, um, well, from the starting, we go back to the starting board. We really begin by sitting with ourselves, really tapping into, and this session is such a beautiful session, but you really tap into your vision, you really tap into your dream, you really tap into what's making you feel so excited and so alive. And sometimes it's even something that we've lost from sight. We just, it's so far remote, we don't believe it anymore. But you want to tap into that. That's really, really important. And to really anchor these, we touch into your strengths, we touch into your core values, because all of this, you want it rather than going outside trying to fill something in within me, it's already here. That's the news. That's the great big secret. It's all here, it's all within you. So we're just going to kind of weed what's in the way and let that shine out. Now, once you start getting really clear on your vision, of course, if you're not standing there, there's something in a way. What is that? Right? What are
Mm.
those fears, those belief systems? And that often there's stories, really interesting narratives that we tell ourselves that we address, we look into, and we might do some healing approaches or some um, neuroscience, like reprogramming our system through tapping and havening and stuff like that to alleviate all the tension and the pain. But once you start really clearing that out of the way and getting a clear idea, we rewrite together, we really rewrite the story. This
I
is your
like
life. This is your chapter. You get to rewrite what's most, alive for you. And when that really steps in, the blocks are out of the way, you're getting into your story. Wow, the momentum that comes from that, it feels like a huge breakthrough. It is actually. And then you start mapping. So setting the ground, it really is like building a home. You have to start with the foundation. And yeah, we take the time to go deep and figure that out so that when you start, you're not going to start, try this, and then whoops, find out that's not quite it, and realign and realign and realign. You're going to feel aligned. And when you do, it's interesting, as you align, life seems to bring everything to you, doesn't it? You
yes.
align to the circumstances, the opportunities, the people that you meet. It changes. It totally changes.
Yes, it's so
Hmm.
fascinating to me when you allow and let things happen, because we are get used to this rat race that to do things to make things happen, and that's actually not how life rolls. And when you stop and, like you said, align with your true potential, true self. I call it your authentic self. That's how you say yes to certain things and say no to certain things, and wait sometimes slow down, and sometimes you move. That's how you kind of dance with the life. But I think mostly in corporate world and or people who are born and raised with this circle of like you need to make things happen, it's hard for them to stop. And
Mhm.
I'm gonna admit that I am one of them. I am working on myself still because I like to keep myself busy. I like to do a lot of things, and I like to set goals and achieve them and just do. And then what happens, sometimes I get sick to stop, and
Mm.
sometimes people just cancel stuff for me to stop. So I always see those as a sign. And when I slow down in my life, and I am sharing it with people who need to hear this, because when you slow down and meditate and listen more, then you
Yeah.
know what you need to do for that specific day or with that specific project. Actually, it moves you faster when you slow down, because now you're able to prioritize the right things.
Yeah, I would totally agree. It's so interesting. And rather than feeling like we're spinning our wheels and going in circles, it really feels like you're slowing down to go faster because it's the right action at the right time. And that is
Exactly.
but so it looks like a really deep journey, and it might feel like, delaying because people that want to change job, they might want to next week kind of thing. But this is
Mm-hmm.
juicy. This is fun. This part is really energizing. As we do things that are more aligned, we feel energized, we feel alive, we feel fulfilled, we feel there's this, I'm thinking in French, dynamisme. Um, so yeah, it really it brings us back to life basically. And everyone deserves to know that. And there is a lot of conditioning to run and make it work and make more effort. And if you work harder and you do more hours, you'll get it. But that's kind of a recipe for burnout, actually. So yeah, I've been there too. I don't recommend it.
Yes.
Yeah, I
Yes,
don't
I
recommend
don't
it.
I don't either. And
Yeah.
my question to you is, what was the most difficult part for you when you started to change your life? What was really hard for you to do?
Um, I think it was trusting that this wisdom is inside. And learning, it's a skill, right? Learning to connect to that. And that is a journey because it never stops. You can always go a deeper level. But
Mm,
even though you're just stepping into that, it changes a whole game. It did. My like really, really interesting how once I started really allowing, like you said, the relationships changed, the career changed. Um, yeah, myself, I just felt more grounded, at peace, ease in my life. The anxiety went from way up there to, you know what, it's okay. It's all working out. There's this deep
mm-hmm.
sense of grounding. That's amazing.
It is,
And there's
yeah.
like this joy. You know there's something good is still unfolding, right? So you're holding this. I'm good here and I'm open to more. And it's just like it's a dance.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Hmm.
And yes, trusting, for me the same. Trust is the very important foundation, I think, in human nature. We want the certainty, we want to know, and we want to
Yeah.
know that it's okay. Then we can let go. Let go is the hardest thing for me, I guess. And trust as well. So I know you are getting ready for something exciting for your business, and for the people who enjoyed this conversation and curious about your dream job process and want to learn more about how you work, how people can reach out to you and what is coming up for you.
Thank you. So what's coming up is a launch in January 2025. And it's basically Rise to Thrive. You live your delightful career right now. So that's the idea. It's a 6-month program, one-on-one coaching. And we will go through various processes, but you will get to know yourself so much better. You'll get clear on what you do want, what you no longer want. You'll get confidence on yourself and your ability to feel into what's right for you. You'll have a greater understanding of your values, of your cores. Yeah. And you'll start stepping into your purposeful career. It'll become real, basically. It's going to become real. So I'm really excited about launching that in January 2025 by the end of the year. And for those that are interested and curious and that are ready to sign up before the end of the year, I have beautiful bonuses to offer. Yeah, there's $1,000 worth of Jumpstart VIP session that I'm offering as a package, as a bonus for my program. And if the first 5 people that join, I have a $2,500 value. So I have a course online to offer them, plus free coaching, a 7-week course, plus free coaching to accompany. So yeah, jump on that opportunity. If you're curious, you just have to call. It's a no engagement call, and you can just reach me. My business name is discoveryourdreamjob.ca. And on there, you will see a possibility for you to book a call, a 1-hour consultation where we just discuss where you're at and, what are your dreams, where you want to go. And we see if it's a fit. And I'd be delighted to support you. And if it's not quite a fit, I'll see how I can help you with finding resources or, other things in the community that could be of help to you. Because my goal is to serve right now. So really excited about that.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you. Very exciting. And I wish I had you to guide me when I was a little girl, because I thought I wanted to be a human resources manager. And I got that job. I was a human resources specialist for so long. And then I quit and I went into self-improvement journey. And I was still early in my age to change it. But I know so many people are landing into jobs that are not meant for them. So you are meant for more. You have an not covered potential in you. So reach out, Lorraine, to guide you. And I always ask my guests, Lorraine, to leave our audience for one sentence. What would be your sentence to leave them?
You have everything within you. It's there. It's there. You just need a little support to tap into it. The golden mind is there. The gold mine is there. And I forgot to mention, but I do have a gift that I'd like to offer your audience.
Yes.
Yeah. So I created a workbook, but that I will be releasing week by week, because in the workbook there's also an exercise, and I don't want anyone to be overwhelmed. But if you're interested, it's really, this first workbook is about connecting to your passion. So there's beautiful practices to connect with your curiosity, to how do I extend beyond my comfort zone. There's all kinds of really interesting exercises that you can enjoy. So if you're interested, if you go on the site and you sign up, you'll be receiving a newsletter every week with those exercises.
Nice. Yeah, I will make sure to put that link below the show so people can join, and I will definitely join. Thank you so much for that gift. Thank you, Lauren. It was nice to have you. Enjoy your day.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.
Thank you, everyone who tuned in. Please subscribe and share this episode to people that you want to.
Thank you so much for listening. I hope you enjoyed this episode and now you can apply it to your life. If you did enjoy it, please subscribe to the Coffee O'Clock podcast on Apple and leave us a review. I would love to hear your thoughts. And if you feel like someone needs to listen to this episode, share it on your social media or text the link to that person to make an impact in their life. Be sure to tune in every Monday for new episodes. You can also watch the episodes and find more inspiration on my Instagram, which is at JOYYBURCU. Until next time, make sure to spend some time with you and stay with joy.